Hello again, and welcome to Slacker Z. I'm your host, Chris, as always, and we have another Corsela Saga game. And the exciting thing for me tonight is I'm not GMing this game. Tonight we have a guest GM. He has been a player in our Saga so far, the first couple intro episodes we had, and this was his idea for the concept of this intro game, and he wanted to GM it really bad, so I was like, yes, let's do that. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Gabe.
Hey everybody, this is Gabe B. In this saga, I'll be playing Sarin for you, which is a Togaruda, which is a big alley cat, we'll just say. But tonight's intro game is for Sean, who is playing Gwarm, a biker, and we'll go ahead and start the intro from him real quickly, and then we'll go with Chris, and then to Nathaniel.
Alright, so everybody by now knows me. I'm Sean. I run the channel GM's Dice. And tonight, and in the games to come, I will be playing Gwarm, a middle-aged, mid-30s, not quite middle-aged, but mid-30s Weequay. He's a biker with the BOS. I can't remember what exactly it is in Weequay at the moment, but it roughly translates to Birthed of Sand, the biker gang that he's with. He's a nomad in the gang. His job is basically to make sure that the triad has proper representation in any deals and stuff that go down when he's around. And he's a gearhead. He's great with mechanics and just as good with computers and droids. One of the few people that actually speaks binary. So that's Gwarm. We'll see how much further he develops from there.
Alright, and tonight I will be playing Vic. Vic is a 45-year-old-ish Weequay, part of the same gang as Gwarm. And he's been around for a while. He's well established in the gang. He's known Gwarm since he was a little young pup, which happens to be Vic's nickname for Gwarm, young pup. And he's basically just a born rider. He loves riding his speeder bike, and that's what he does. So we will pass it on to Nate.
Yeah, I'm Nathan. I'm playing Joro Glenn, Weequay, and he's a driver. He loves to race. Originally started off on another planet as a bush pilot until he got kicked from his job, and so he hooked up with some cousins of his and ended up here on Corsela, where he is by far the youngest. He's in his late teens, 19-ish or so, and he is when it comes to anything motorized, he will race it, fly it, ship it, drive it, you name it, he does it. I'll turn it back over to Gabe.
Alrighty, so now we got an intro for some of the players tonight, and we have a little bit of two different people from Guam's little bike club that we have here. And so we're ready to start, and let's have some fun. We're going to do a little bit more narration than it is a lot of roll dying, like I had told them. So I expect, you guys have a lot of fun, talk to each other, talk to your NPCs, get to know things, what's going on, and let's go from here. So, um, what you see, Guam, is a barrel, and it's actually faced at another Weequay. And he's like, and you hear a voice, and you're not connecting who this voice is coming from, and you're like, so what should we do about this? And then you see the barrel kind of gets swung and kind of gets swung in front of you, and all of a sudden it's like, maybe it's you, and then quickly back to the other one, maybe it's you, and you can quickly figure out that this person that he's talking to is um, someone you basically have had communications with, especially at a younger age. Now that you guys are basically both nomads, um, he's kind of like a slight rival, but you can see him on his knees. He's kind of bound, and this thing has this blaster, and you're not even sure who it is, what it is. Um, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy I gave you. I have it written down, but I can't find it. And anyway, so you basically see him, and then the corner of your eyes starts kind of flaring, like you're trying to figure out what's going on, where you just got hit, where you're knocked out, but you're not feeling pain. And all of a sudden you hear a blaster fire, and you wake up.
Okay, so Gwarm, after this sort of nightmare, sits bolt right, and oddly enough, for a week where he's actually sort of moist, like he's been sweating. Just really deep breaths, and sits there for a few, and decides that going back to sleep isn't probably the best idea right now. So he gets up, gets dressed in his usual attire, sort of a coverall sort of bit, and a jacket to go over the top of it, and heads out of his room, heading for the commissary or the cantina, somewhere where he's going to be with people and not alone.
On the way, you'll see kids, and this is something you normally see, and they're firing sticks at each other. They're kind of like pointing like their guns, and they're going pew pew. I'm the big bird man. Pew pew pew, and kind of going back and forth, and like I want to be the bird man now, it's like what bird man? It's kind of in the back of your head. And they're just like, yeah, he was huge, and she's like, I'm tired. You kind of hear them. They go running off. So you head into the cantina, and it's normal day. It's morning. Not a lot of drinking. It's more of anything. People are still slumped over their tables, kind of waking up. You see the bartender just over there cleaning, knowing that it was one rough night again.
All right, Gwarm, as he walks in, he's seeing all this. He walks up to the bar and sort of taps on the bar to get the bartender's attention. And when he looks at him, he's just one of the usual. And when he gets his morning drink, which it is an alcoholic drink, but it's like this watered down version, so it's more or less just for the taste and the pick me up from his usual night drinking the night before. And he goes and finds himself the quietest and cleanest little seat that he can sit on, and kicks back to have his morning drink and just to try and forget the nightmares he had the night before.
All right. And as any bartender kind of is, they can either be nosy or not. This one's kind of like he knows you, knows people around. He's very well within the club. I mean, he's nothing special, but he knows a little bit of everything. And he's like, so you ready for your meeting today? As he's pouring, kind of tosses it to you.
Oh, ready, I don't really think is a factor in it. Whether I'm ready or not, I've got it. So But yeah, I think for the most part, I'm ready. I've got this under the belt. But just the usual demons at it at night again.
Yeah, and kind of looks at the rest of them. He's like, yeah, well, can't wait till these guys wake up so I can at least get to their spots and finally clean that stuff up.
Hmm. Well, it's still early, and this is usually your slow day, so they'll be out of here soon.
Yeah, soon. He's like, I think some of these guys should owe me some rent.
Well, if I was you, I'd have started charging rent a long time ago.
Yeah, but then they'd go somewhere else, and then they end up here anyway. So yeah, maybe I should have. Whatever. He's like, so, I'm not sure if you heard the commotion or not from earlier, but um, there was some creature. I couldn't quite understand what it was, but it was pretty big, and some redhead woman.
And I must have slept through it, but on the way here, I did see some kids that were playing, talking about they wanted to be the big bird or whatnot. So, and I thought maybe they were talking about some fool in a costume.
Well, I don't know if it was a bird. I thought it was more of a lizard, but well, I don't. We'll have to We'll have to figure that one out later. But I know he went to go talk to the old man. I'm not sure if that was part of the meeting or what, but it's none of my business.
I don't know. Most of the time, I don't know what the meeting's about until I get there. So.
All right, and you can go get your seat and up to the other two where they want to come in on this, if they do.
Gwarm, my boy, how you been?
Oh, Vic. What the hell are you doing up so early?
It's not by choice, that's for sure. I don't know. All I know is I was sleeping, and some young kid, I don't know who he was, getting in my old age these days, it's hard to get to know the new guys. But told me there was some kind of big meeting today, so I'm sitting right here.
That's what I've been told. That's not why I'm up this early, but it's where I'm headed.
Oh, I'll join you. Why the hell not? Been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
How's life out in the wilderness been?
It was odd for a while trying to get used to being just myself again, but haven't been just myself since I was 12, 13. So but I'm starting to get used to it. It's nice. I mean, sometimes I wish there was somebody there to yell at or to bullshit with, but most of the time I like the quiet.
Yeah, the quiet is good at times. But I agree. Sometimes a little noise, havoc, and mayhem does something for the soul.
Oh, definitely.
On the cue of the noise and mayhem, you hear a speeder bike pull in, and the door opens up, and a weekly in a leather duster and fairly faded clothes walks in and pulls his goggles up from his face, wipes the dust off. Yeah. Ooh. Chase that thing for like a couple kilometers. He strides up, like waves to the Gwarm and Vic, and I'll take the usual for the bartender. And he grabs his seat at the bar.
All right, and the bartender kind of starts. He looking at his clientele. He knows exactly what each one drinks. He pours one, does a mixture of another one, and then he looks at you and pours something completely different from the other, and kind of just sets them up in front. We have the other watered down drink. We have a blue bath of milk in front of Vic, and then we have some kind of clear liquid thing with something floating at the bottom and moving.
That's the usual. Like it on the wild side.
And Vic, seeing this, is just shaking his head. He says, "Ah, that kid and his weird stuff, man. People call me weird for drinking this booze stuff." And he takes a swig.
Well, Vic, I don't pay attention to what people say. Says, I mean, hell, I'm sitting here drinking watered down swill. It's about the trashiest thing here. But who is that?
Then you guys hear
Go
in
ahead,
the background, you guys hear a call that you guys normally, if for someone's attention, for the slight people who wouldn't know or part of the club would never kind of get this, but it's basically a gathering whistle. Basically, one person whistling, and it can be kind of heard. But for those who are not attuned for what to hear for, wouldn't even think anything of it.
All right, well, Gwarm hurries up and drinks in a couple of quick gulps of what's left of what he has, drops a credit marker on the table, and as he's walking by, he slaps Vic on the shoulder and he says, "Come on, old man, let's go," and heads out.
And as he gets slapped on the shoulder, he's still trying to turn his drink, realizing he hears the call, like, and drinks and slams it down. Turns around, gets up, and says, "Come on, lad. That means you too." And he gets up and starts to walk away, referring to Oro.
So Job, he gets up and he's like, "Hey, old timer, wipe the mustache." Yep. And the fellas behind him. Crotchety old fart.
And we all start to head to the. Vic starts to head to the meeting.
Yeah, and I was muted. Okay, so you guys are heading there, and you kind of see some other people kind of gathering. A lot of people kind of walking in fro, and there's a building you guys all kind of head to. You walk in, it's normal like a meeting club that you guys have. It's a pretty big area. It's another kind of bar, but it's not like the one you just came out of, where it's more of the civil area. This one is more closed. It's just for certain times that this club is actually used for as an extra bar. Most times it's just as a meeting joint. And you'll see the person that you recognized earlier, Gwarm, is Rame. And he is leaning on the doorway as you guys enter in. And you kind of get from his pheromones that he's kind of on guard right now, and as you pass by, you get the small gesture of a greeting through the pheromones, and that's kind of like he's speaking to any other Weequay. He doesn't speak a lot, but if he does, he'll speak through that only other Weequay around can actually understand. And you see the old man kind of sitting there. I mean, he's probably in the biggest, thickest duster and leathers that you've ever seen anybody in. He's always in this dress. It's that whole skin above his skin. And then next to him, standing, is this figure about 6'4", um, or a little bit over 3. Was it 3 meters? 2 meters,
2 meters, yeah.
and is this lizard-looking eagle thing with these metal plates on the back, kind of like crossed out in an axe of some sort. It looked like lightning. You're not sure what that is, if it's back armor or what, but and then you see this other female, little bit way less than she is, probably about 5'5", 5'4", my guess is. Red hair, slender, and she's got a big blaster on her back and a side pistol. And she looks like she's the bodyguard for this character. And
hey, there it is. I chased that thing out this morning.
Oh, you didn't do a very good job.
I didn't say I chased it away. I just followed after it. That thing can move.
But you did. You just said you chased that thing away this morning.
Well, he apparently came back.
Then you didn't do a very good job.
Well, I guess he had a
And so he looks up. He looks like he kind of like gets the nod of what's going on, and then you see the old man kind of go and stand up, and he's like, "I need," and he's kind of look like he's looking in like people who are there, and points at Gwarm, kind of like, "There's one, there's another," and he's like, "All right, I just need my nomads for now. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring all of you. I just wanted, yeah, my 2 nomads that are here." I'm like, it looks like he's trying to find more of them, but he's not. And he's like, "Yeah, that'll be it for now. And we'll get with you anything else I need. Sorry." And it's like he doesn't know what to expect. Maybe he was just trying to get everybody to see what nomads he had in town, because from the way he's talking.
Yeah.
And so basically it's Gwarm and Rame who are the 2 nomads in the area, and that's kind of like the only ones he wants to talk to. You kind of see everybody kind of like, okay, cool, whatever, and just start heading out, making their merry way of their day until they are needed in any form.
Well,
Vic will look at Gwarm and Vic will look at him and go, that's odd. The old man very rarely just calls nomads in. Must be something serious. Remember what I taught you, young pup. Pay attention to the old man. Do what's right for the gang.
Always.
And he will pat Gwarm on the shoulder, turn around, and start to head out. And as he starts to head out, he will kind of stop midway and wait for Oro to catch up.
The girl's over there. He's adjusting his goggles, trying to like spec out the big creature. He's like, I know I can beat that thing. Oh,
Gwarm
fine.
slaps him in the back of the head and says, "Get out."
Fine. Follows Vic out. Yeah. He goes and sits on his speeder and waits.
And once Oro catches up to Vic, Vic will kind of look at him and goes, "Don't worry, lad. Your time will come too. You got to earn your way in this gang. You still got a little ways to go."
And as you and Rame walk up, you'll see the half lizard, half eagle headed looking thing kind of like look towards you. He's got these big stumps of legs that don't even make sense. They look like almost like the legs of a hippo in a sense. They have these big bulging nails that are come to the side of the edge. They don't have there's not no talons, no anything of a lizard of a excuse me of a bird. Also, the feet don't even look like an actual lizard itself. It looks like it's like a rhino's or a hippo's toe. And there's three of them. And he kind of clumps down. And he looks at you in the side of his head, and he's looking you up and down. Um, he doesn't blink. These solid black eyes, just kind of like they're looking deep into you. You're not sure if you want to be scared, mad, if you want to hit him or not. But he's not. He's not being threatening. He's just kind of like getting that full look. And then he looks at Raim, does the same thing, but he takes a little longer and he stops. And and then he finally like, your best, in a sense. I'm sorry I don't have a voice for this. And the old man goes, well, they're the only ones here. They're going to have to do. And he goes, well, let me explain what's happening. A gentleman has made contact with us that is out doing his own thing. He's fighting, let's just say some of his enemies are our enemies in a different area. Some of them are Imperials, some of them are Hutts. Well, we really haven't felt much of the Republic. They haven't even come up against us, but, you know, that's not really why. And the business proposition has come up. But they need a place within our land to actually call home, but I'm not going to have them all here to cause my people harm. And I hope you guys understand that. I wouldn't want you guys to, you know, feel obligated that you need to have these other people who are not even of us. And he goes, nothing personal. And you get from his pheromones that he's making fun of them in a sense, that, but it very slyly. And the only reason why you know that is because of the pheromones you can breathe from what he's saying, is that he's kind of making a joke in their dispense, but at the same time trying to sound respectable to them. You have this race that has not been seen on this planet ever. You have the human, well, those are normal, red-headed, normal, but nothing, they're still far and few in between. Because you do have humans in your society, but nothing like this person. And they have, but he goes on to explain, he's like, now, I know of 3 places, could be 4, but I'm going to have to get with them. And he pulls out this map of some sort, and then he kind of makes it rise a little bit to more of a topographical green lighting of the deserts beyond your region. And he's like, there's a couple places that could be a good place for them to call home. Now, they don't belong to us. Who they do belong to, though, well, they're just going to have to make do that we're going to be moving in. Your job is to, well, go there, whatever one you want to go to. And one of 2 things you can do. You can confront them, or you could place this, and he comes out of the box that's something that you could tell doesn't belong, because it's in a some kind of carrying crate, and he pulls it out, and it looks like a platter, but at the same time like a landmine of some sort. He's like, all you have to do is place this on the building, wherever we're going to be, and you can remotely turn it on, or you can just hit this mob like this, and it kind of like shows numbers, and then once you do, you push it, and it'll set the timer. It's not a bomb, so don't worry. Don't think this is going to get you out of anything. This isn't the bomb. This is just a beacon, a connection. On the other side of this is, well, a gentleman that you will know as Zan. Well, Tiber is his first name, but you can call him Zan. Um, and he kind of like, and this is Finn, and the other is Nikita. Now, whoever, let's say, does this first or gives the better, um, Tiberzan will actually make the final call of which of the two territories or three territories he wants. Your job is to figure out which one you want to find. We have three of these, like I said, location. One is a nice warehousing area. The other is a little bit smaller, but it's by water. Um, and the other one has a really nice hideout over a cliff hanging of some sort. Each one is connected to, well, not the same gang, but people we could get rid of, if you know what I mean. I mean, it wouldn't hurt us at all. So, it sounds like something you guys can do for these guys because I need to be here, and my nomads are the only ones. And he's looking, he's like, "You're the only ones who can go out of our major territories without any confrontation."
Well, sir, it's if it weren't for being out of the territory, forgive my saying so, but this is something for a soldier, not for a nomad. But being out of the territory, I can understand needing to use us. And, well, you know me, anything for the club.
I would ask this from a soldier normally, but this isn't what the primary job is. Once he or they figure out which one it is, the nomad, in your case, is one of you two. Whoever he picks is also has my permission to be used. However, this Zan um, deems right for to use with him. Um, I'm not saying you have to follow his orders, but he's asking for an alliance, and I think that this would be good for all of us. It would benefit us, and of course, I would do it myself on a normal basis. But if I could have someone there all the time to um, get me the ins and outs to make sure he's fulfilling his part of the deal, and you're getting that last part through the pheromones. As he says, just do what they want to do. You're getting this whole sense of I don't 100% trust him, but same time, let me in on the dirty work. Let me know what's going on. That's the real plan here.
All right. Well, Gwarm sends off sort of out of his pheromones, sort of not necessarily an approval sort of scent, but sort of a mix between approval and aggression. Sort of like he's eager, uh, and at the same time as doing that, he says verbally, "So this is an audition of sorts."
Yes, perfectly said. And then at the same time, you're looking at Raim, and he's just kind of like trying to figure out, and he's looking at the bird, or what we know as Fen and Nikita, and he doesn't say, but he does, and everyone is like, why are we working with these people? They're not even from us. They're not even of this planet, sounds like. Why? What interest do we have? The Empire hasn't been here. They haven't really done anything here. Um, are we going to cause war on something that that we have no conflict with already? And basically, for a moment, you will see the old man kind of look at him, kind of like you will guys will do as Tiberzan wants. And this is again very verbal of what's being said. He goes, so I expect you guys to help them in any way. Now, because, and he gives us like an idea of like, I want you to figure out which one you want to take care of. And he's like, because of what's happening and your outrage, Guam, which one do you want to seek? We have a cliffside, we have a warehousing area that's very secluded, and we have one that's by water.
Well, if we're doing this to try and find, and he looks over at this thing and he just kind of looks up and he says, to find these things home, I suppose we should find out from them which one is the more favorable to them, and I'll check out that one.
And you'll see Finn, he'll kind of like do a quick, like he elongates his S's, but at the same time he has that very scratchy squeak of a voice. And it doesn't matter. We have many races. I am the only one and the only trusted one. He goes, I am only of one kind of my race. We have another one that's only his race, and we have many others. It's not just us or me that you see that will be made home here. Many will be. There'll be a fleet. There'll be protection. Like I've explained before, the Empire will not come here. And if they do, that will be the last mistake they've ever made. So whatever one you figure out that you think would be best, I'm going to leave that in your hands to see what kind of judgment you can make.
I'd go for the warehouses. It's easy to convert a warehouse into prefabbed temporary lodging while they build or accommodate other things to the ways they need them. And within the industrial area, they'll have areas to put their fleet that they evidently have.
And this will be something that you will see in time. And he's like, that's the one? And then he looks at Raim, and he's like, so which one are you going to take? And he looks reluctantly. He's like, well, humans and things need water. Maybe they should be there. But then again, birds need to be on the side of a hill. And he kind of like looking, you can see that he's looking at which one he wants to grab. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what. Hillside's on the side, is on the way. I can swing by to see if that one's going to be good enough. If not, I'll head to the one over there since Gwarm has already taken the other one. And he's kind of giving this vibe like, you lucky bastard, you picked the one I wanted. And he's like, so, if anything, I'll look at two of them. And he's going to try to boast himself like, I'm going to do two things instead of your one. And basically, but you know that his path he's going to have to take is a steep hillside. He's going to have to go through this valley. You have to go through one little valley, or you can go through the side, through open desert, but really rocky. Very easy for you guys to just swoop along, literally, and get a nice little ride. He's like, now, I don't expect you guys to do this by yourself. I want you to take people you do trust. No more than 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4. Don't want you to make yourselves known. I'm going to let these ones have a pass outside territories. You just make sure you speak for them in case any type of lawgiver. You're the only one who has a contract outside, so let them know that if there is a lawgiver of some sort, that you don't mean harm to be outside with them, and that they will return. That is the contract we have with these lawgivers. That's to let us freely do what we do here without them coming upon us. Any questions? And he's kind of looking like he's tired of this whole meeting of that. I can't believe I'm saying my best, but I understand what I need to. Kind of getting this whole vibe that there is more involved in this, but he just doesn't know what it is yet, and that's what he wants to find out most.
Gwarm actually doesn't say anything. He just kind of gives him a nod and puts off that pheromone, that smell of confidence and sort of swagger, like I got this type of thing, and heads for the door.
All right.
And walks outside, sees Vic and this Joro or Horo or whatever his name is, sitting on and leaning against their speeder bikes. And he says, well, I was assigned a job, and I was told I could bring a couple people with me to get it done. He says, Vic, I'd like you to go with me, and because there's nobody else close by, I'll take him too.
Vic goes, young pup, always going to ride with you anytime. And he looks over at Horo and goes, well, you always wanted to get a little bit of a venture. You've just caught your lucky break, kid. And he'll kind of do a slap on the back, kind of trying to make him lunge forward a little bit.
Oh, come on now, old timer. Leave me be. You'll be eating my dust. Where we heading anyway?
And as you guys are talking, you'll see Raim kind of come up to you. He's like, well, I did want them, but then I started remembering those the squirrel backs is what they call themselves. They're a rough bunch. Are you sure you three are going to be able to handle all of them? And he kind of giving this like, yeah, you think you're a little over your head on this.
I'm sure we'll make do. The old man's a good shot, and new guy here, he needs the experience.
You guys seem confident. Well, and he's kind of like, I have to figure out which one I want to get though, because I only have one. And you picked up yours. Don't get me wrong. You picked up your little thing. It probably weighs about maybe 10 pounds. Probably in encumbrance, probably what, 4? If maybe that's what it is, 3 or 4. It's definitely something, and you can tell it's more of a beacon, a homing beacon of some sort. And the dog says hello to everybody. I don't know if you can see him. And it's like 1, 2 spots. Well, you guys have a good one. Don't take plenty of water or whatever. And he's kind of like, remember, he said the first one.
Yeah. He also said the best one.
Yeah, well, we'll see which one of the 3 is the best.
And you've got 2 to look at, which means your already poor quality of work is going to be even less because you have 2 to do in the time of 1.
Like I said, it was on the way. It makes it easy. I mean, you could have had that one too, had you thought about it. But that may be your mistake.
But I thought about what's going to be best for the client and the club, not what's going to be best for me.
Well, we'll definitely see that one when the time comes. And he's like, until then, I guess you'll be eating my dust. and he kind of, you can see him calling out, like there's four of them that kind of like get on their bike, and it's the normal one that they really kind of stick together, and they're much more of numbskulls more than they are smart. But Raim is very calculating. He thinks outside the box a little bit. He's not, he doesn't think like right up front like what is the best. But you're right. He has that whole. He thinks like in four different directions at once, and so he's almost seems like he's always a step ahead of his enemies. So he always gets jobs done. He gets them done well, but it's just he lacks a lot of caring for his community. He cares for what the task he is doing. So you basically head out, and it's going to be about a good 7-hour ride. You guys have plenty of fuel for this and everything else. You grab your stuff and you just start taking off. I mean, it's up to you what kind if you want to give them the details of the mission, what they're looking for. Tell me how the ride's going to go. What kind of rest you guys take?
All right, so the three of them mount their speeder bikes and take off, heading in this direction and toward this warehousing district. And Gwarm gives them the gist of what's going on, that there's this new group that's looking to settle on Corsela and be close enough to the rest of the civilized areas without being. They're looking for that sweet spot. They want somewhere that's close but not too close, and far enough away but not too far enough away, or not too far away. And that they've evidently got this fleet and a whole bunch of different races that are all with them, and that he thought the warehouse district would be the best choice for a place to put them. And discussing that for quite a while, and if any of you have ever rode a motorcycle or anything, you got to stop about every hour and a half to stretch your legs and your groin and all that, because it starts getting real stiff. So I'd say probably about every hour and a half they stop, stretch their legs, do what they need to do.
Yeah. As this is new territory for Joel, he's constantly scanning the area, looking, trying to familiarize himself with the terrain.
And in one of their stops, after Gwarm's kind of gone over what's going on, Vic will be like, finally, our club's going to get a little bit more recognition. Kid, Pup, do you know what this means for us?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it means more competition for jobs and other sort of things. But at the same time, if all goes well, we'll have new contacts and a possibility for more jobs. So I'd say all in all, it could equal out and be okay.
Oh, kid, it's so much more than that. We're going to run this planet. We will be the club of choice.
We're already the club of choice. The only reason people join the other clubs is because we won't take them.
That is true. The triad.
These squirrel nut guys.
Smiling on us. Yeah, those squirrel nut guys. They're nothing. Nobody takes them seriously anyway.
Yeah, who calls themselves squirrel nut?
May not be by choice.
What, are you sticking up for idiots there, Horo?
No. I'm just saying, if the shoe fits,
Well, if their shoe fits, go wear it.
Well, hey, I got big feet, man. Don't be.
Yeah, big feet
Now,
you're accommodating for
is
somewhere
this
else.
out of the conversation? Is this warehouse located in Kingston, Gabe, or is this somewhere else?
I personally don't know your planet. I will give everybody a background. I did a lot of research on Corsela and found nothing. So,
Okay,
I
not a
really.
problem.
So
But
wherever this is at, go ahead and please elaborate. Build me the world that is
Okay,
already
I,
enveloped in your brain.
all right. Well, the warehouse that we're going to is in the city of Kingston. As Gwarm has been kind of away for a while, Vic will fill him in on about the Civil War that happened briefly, of how Kingston's kind of in a state of rebuilding. Uh, After the war, there's still um, talk of Imperials that Vic has heard throughout his writing and trying to find stuff while he's in Kingston. He makes regular trips back and forth between Crimson Springs and Kingston. So he knows a little bit of the area. He knows kind of what's going on, but he doesn't know the full details. He knows of the Triad. He knows the Triad. He knows that the club has been involved in it for a long time. He doesn't know the major key players as far as Tiberzon and Fenn are concerned. You're right, Fenn. He doesn't know them. He's never seen them, but he has heard of the consortium. He's heard of the all the other gangs that are on Corsela. There's several in Kingston and our gang and stuff. And he did remember the Black Sun at one time being part of the Triad, but because of the Civil War, they are no longer a member. And it is still uncertain who this new mysterious member is. There were some whispers of a Mandalorian influence, but that has since been quelled from that rumor. But otherwise, nobody's sure of who this new member is. So they're kind of on edge. And in Vic's mind and kind of describing things, he's kind of of the hopes that the gang, the club, is going to be the new members and kind of be separate and autonomous from the rest of the group of gangs that are part of the Triad. And that's it for the kind of a brief background of kind of what's going on. But this warehouse would be in the city of Kingston, a major warehouse district. So a lot of information would be coming in and out of it, a lot of supplies and all that.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. That helps out a lot of people for getting an idea of the background for Kingston and, of course, for this planet and the Civil War. A lot of good information for later use. So, I mean, like you said, it was a couple. You did it's a 7 to 10 hour ride, depending on how long you were taking, and a couple times, you were stopping every hour and a half, depending on where it was. Like I said, you had plenty of fuel. The way these run off, great for running long trips. And one of your stops, you kind of like you're feeling a little bit of hunger, so you kind of take a little longer on one of them, and then you kind of eat. You take off again. No problems, no issues. And up ahead, you start coming out into more of the actual desert itself. There's a lot of rocks. There's a lot of like major stone like implants inside the ground. I mean, these are probably about maybe 10, 15 feet tall. Some of them are round. That's going to be a little bit more You don't really take the same path if you're going to be riding side by side. Um, it's a lot of moving. Think of it as a small cluster field of asteroids, but they're stable. They're not going to move or twist around and turn, so it's easy to zip right on through. And as you do, you guys will hear like 3 or 4 blasters, choo 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 choo, right over your heads, um, almost as if they were like warning shots, but at the same time they easily could have missed. So with this, I want you to go ahead and take a vigilance roll, please. All right. So we have NPC, PC, 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 and we have, let's see here, 1, and then NPC. So we have NPC, PC, PC, NPC. You guys are already going. I'm going to say that you guys are probably cruising at a 2 speed, no problem. You're not full throttling it or anything already. You're just kind of keeping it relaxed, and you're going to be kind of zooming on. And let's see, we're going to, for the main NPC, we're going to go ahead and, let's see, you guys have your defense on your bikes. I remember giving it to you guys. I think it was, what, 4?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Wait, so.
I'm not seeing a 4 on defense. There's a whole trauma is 3. Your aft and forward defenses are 0.
Okay, so let me, sorry about that. I was going to open it up and then kind of get some of the.
No, you're fine. It's
Okay, I think I know what I was thinking. Okay, so we have 0 defenses, have no shielding, and silhouette of 2. You guys are going at speed 2. All right, and go back to here, and the first shot is going to be that, and setback of 2. He has 2 setbacks, so it's back down to 0, and you guys 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna roll. All right, so he misses the shot. Basically, 2 shots go over your guys' head as you guys are kind of zooming through. You're taking more of an evasive maneuver at the last moment, and you're just swimming through, ducking of your heads. Not sure where those shots are coming from. Then you kind of do a quick glimpse behind, and throughout these rocks you see 3 of these riders come. And these are looking like they're not native to your world, but they are. 2 of them look very like a raccoon and some kind of weasel, but they're about normal 6 feet tall. You know them as, oh God, if I can remember the words, Solinary? No, not Soliston.
the Salonians.
Thank you. I was like, I played one the other day.
Selonia.
And now you're kind of getting a hint of why they're called this, or technically the squirrel backs, but let you call them the way you want to call them and make fun of them. And they're running through, and they're shooting right at you guys. And now it's PC number 1.
What's the call here, guys? Girls, but we can outrun them, or you want to turn around and blast them?
You guys can shoot from behind you guys. Remember, if you look at your rotation, you can shoot 360.
No. Um, Gwarm, I think, would continue heading in the direction they're going and continue at the full speed 2. Uh, so heading flat out, but he would use his turret blaster on his speeder bike to fire back as he's heading out. So let's see, that's gunnery to use that.
Right.
Or wait, no, I can't use my turret blaster, so he'd pull his E11 blaster that he's got, which is got modifications on it to make it easier to fire from one hand.
All right, so you're basically going to accelerate to 3 because 3 is your max speed on it, or do you want to stay at 2?
Well, on the bike that I'm running, 2 is my maximum speed.
Oh, okay. So you have your own bike. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and by leaning over and shooting with yours. Let's see. You're going at speed 2. You're already. So that's why they're probably already. They've been traveling with 2 just to keep with you. You probably have other modifications that I wasn't aware of. That's okay. And you're going to go and reach over with your blaster. So I would think 3. And do you want to shoot at them, or do you want to shoot at their sled? And sled, I mean bike, technically. Sorry.
Would I recognize what type of bike they're riding?
If you're going to go into this kind of detail, they're.
Well, I just want to know, is it like a speeder bike that's got the front foils on it, or is it like a swoop that it looks more like a scooter?
It would be kind of like probably like what you're riding. I know the ones that these other ones have are a little bit more heftier. They have the tri. What is it? The not boosters, but elevation supporters, and so it makes them a little bit more sturdier. These are definitely more like your bike.
Okay. Well, in that case, then yeah, he's gonna fire at the bikes, but he's gonna mainly be aiming for the little cone sort of triangle foil that's on the front end of it, because that has a lot to do with their steering and all that. So he's gonna aim for that.
All right. So they're gonna do a little more of a called shot. We'll go ahead, and I know it's going to be 2 for your distance of 2, so 3 upgraded. Let's see if it's going to be 2 setbacks, one for basically the speed of the dust and looking back. Now, if you have any of those setbacks for your piloting, that's fine, because that's what you're going to be going against for the setbacks. It's not necessarily for the shot, because you're kind of keeping things stabilized and shooting. So if you have any setback that relieves from your piloting, you can use for this shot. Otherwise, it's going to be 2 setbacks. It'll be 3 difficulty, and one of those will be upgraded to a red, if that makes sense. So you're going to have 2 purple, 1 red, 2 black. If your piloting takes away any setback dice, you can use that for your shot.
Okay, no, it was. What'd you say it was? 2 purple, 1 red, and then the setback.
Yes, 2 purple, 1 red, and 2 blacks total.
Okay, I actually have a 3rd setback because I'm firing one-handed.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
What about getting a? What about blue for a boost for aiming? Isn't that essentially what a called shot would be then?
Well, he hasn't done a maneuver, so he could use it for the aim instead of using the maneuver for his bike.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, just okay. So yeah, instead of continuing on like I was, I'll take the aim. He like lets go of the throttle so that he's sort of letting the engine slow it down type of thing, and takes the maneuver to aim, and I'm more than likely gonna miss because I'm horrible with guns. Yep, even with the automatic success from my modification, this being the first check made with this weapon in the encounter, I still fail by getting 2 setbacks.
Alrighty, and let's see here. The first setback is actually I'm actually going to put the strain on yourself. The second is they have the identification of they know what you're aiming for. You basically didn't shoot at them, didn't shoot at the bike itself, but they definitely have an identification of what you're shooting for. All right, so now we have PC number 2.
All right. Vic, realizing that they've got a little bit of trouble, will kind of maneuver his bike so he gets behind a little bit more behind Gwarm, so he's kind of blocking kind of the field of fire on his rear, and he's going to take a shot using his turret-mounted light blaster cannon on his bike.
All right, you're going to be shooting at one of them or their bike alone?
I'm going to try to take out the lead bike.
Taking out the lead bike itself, okay, so that'll be 3 difficulty.
Yep.
And let's see here. So you're going to have, let's see, so you're not moving, you're not doing it with your actual gun. So it's going to be the normal 2 setback dice, one again for the maneuvering, and for the dust that's in the air, kind of giving them a little bit of cover, same as before. So again, this is more of a piloting.
Okay.
So the same thing, it'll be 3 difficulty, one of them upgraded. So it'll be 2 purple, 1 red, and 2 black as before.
Piloting skills remove.
Correct. Because this is...
Okay, cool. All right, and then I'm going to use Destiny Point to, if you guys don't mind, to upgrade my shot.
I mind. No.
Do you really? Because I'll change my mind. That puts in your favor, but okay. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
All right,
And there's
so what's your advantage on this?
Let's see. Is that an automatic triumph or a success because of the triumph?
That is.
Oh wait, no,
not
that's a despair.
That's a despair.
Oh, that is a despair. My
Old age
advantage
is catching up to you.
the advantage is that he totally misses, of course, but it's close enough to the front of the bike to have the leader kind of lose control of his bike just briefly. I mean, not enough to slow him down majorly, but just enough to slow him just a tiny bit. Kind of like a warning shot, a well-placed warning shot.
All right, and I want you to go ahead and roll me percentile, please. And this is a critical hit to a piece of machinery.
Oh. You get a reflex shot. Like bounce
58.
off the ground.
58. Shields failing. Well, guess what? You have no shields already. Reduce defenses to all shields by 1, which you have 0, so it's 0. Until the ship is repaired. However, you do take 1 system strain because of this. So you'll take the system strain, but you lose no shields. 0 from 0, well, 0.
Okay. 0, yeah.
But there is a system strain done from yourself.
All right, cool.
So you picked a good one.
Yeah. All right. So there's 3 of them, right, Gabe?
There is 3 of them, correct.
Juro comes over his mic and he's like, "Hey, back when I was crop dusting, we had this game we loved to play with the locals." And he flips his bike around and punches it full throttle. Juro ain't the smartest guy in the basket, but he loves it. So I got improved full throttle, which allows me to roll my piloting. I'm going to increase, basically, I'm going to go from speed 2 to speed 4.
Okay.
And the idea is basically we're going to see if we can't get these guys to scatter.
All right. And because I love the idea of what you're doing, I'm not going to give you the setback I was going to give you, but because of this whole rotation, however, it is something that's going to be really hard to do, so I am going to go ahead and do a destiny on that. So it does upgrade it that way. And do you have any automatic succeeds or failure or advantages to this?
Yeah, I get to, I'll remove 1 setback because I'm a still jockey. Also, I won't suffer any setbacks for difficult terrain because this is a new area for me. And then the other ones, yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Okay, so no automatic advantages or succeeds then?
Not for this, no.
Okay.
Unless I need to re-roll something. The only other thing is normally when you would do this would count like a double maneuver, if I remember right, in order to up the speed twice. I don't take any strain. My vehicle won't take any strain from it.
Oh yeah.
So,
the only thing I was looking at was if you had any successes or automatic advantage, I was just going to take those away. But since you don't have them anyway, you just have the upgrade. You are going to be turning your bike in reverse, and you're going to be going completely backwards towards them. So you're going to be peeling out and come back to them. I am going to give a system strain because that's not the way the machinery works itself, but that's okay. You have plenty, and then you go ahead and do your pilot roll for this maneuver, or if not for maneuver, for your talent.
Right. Okay. And did you say you set a difficulty for it, or you're just rolling a normal flat?
What was that?
What am I rolling as far as difficulty?
This is your piloting to see if you can do your talent.
Okay, no worries then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Little hot dog and a little showboating.
It helps if you do your difficulty with it.
Well, that's what I was asking about. What the difficulty was?
Yeah, for your talent, it tells you on the talent what you have to do. I believe it's 2.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's supposed to be 2 purples, and so it's upgraded.
Yeah. Upgrade 1? Yeah, okay. I was just double checking, my bad. Alright. Woo!
Alright, so this is what's going to happen. So you do your turn, and you do it in a way where you thought you were going to be able to start push on do your stop. You're going to crank down on your on your not throttle, but your gear shift to kind of like to lower it and then kick it back on.
Uh-huh.
And instead of doing all that, you didn't swing far enough. So now you basically turned at a straight, complete left turn. So you're not facing them, but you're heading. You just might be a complete left. You did slow
Okay.
down and then you sped up. However, you do not go to your 4. You are still at your 2.
Okay. That's two. I got it. Okay.
And then we have NPCs 1 and 2 together. And these are their little 2 guys in the back, and they're going to be shooting with their. One's actually going to be shooting with their blaster. The other one's going to be shooting with their turret. And for their maneuver, they're actually going to speed up on you. So they're going to be catching up a little bit. And then they will go ahead and take their shot. So that'll be. You guys have any type of defenses on? Well, let's see here first. Percentile. Let me do this. Even. They're going to shoot it at your bikes. It isn't even. Okay, so they're going to shoot at your bikes. No defenses, no anything. They do have they have a 2 piloting, 2 gunnery, and you are there. So here's the first shot, and this one will go to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Well, Vic is right in front of Gwarm. They can't really get in contact with him, so the first one will go against Vic. If they will hit the roll. There we go. Ooh, it misses, shooting right over you guys. And the second one shot will be taking the advantage or getting a boost die for his attack. And this one will be shooting. He's going to be shooting with his normal blaster, and makes sense. He's going to go ahead and shoot at Nathan's character, which I've lost the name. Starts with a J, I believe. And because he's kind of like, he's a little unconfirmed of where he's going, and he's going to go ahead and try to do that shot towards him, and it's going to be because of distance, speed, difficulty of 3 against his 1 gun, but he does have a boost, and not. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. So he's got 1 green, 1 blue, 2 yellow to make the shot. And he does hit for 7 points of damage to Mr. Glenn there. Johoro. Is that how you say it? Horo? Johoro?
Yeah.
Johoro?
So he said he's doing it to the bike or to me?
To you.
Okay.
He thought it was a little bit easier because you were on the side and you're a little bit easier to shoot at than the bike
Right.
is.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So I take 3 then. He did 7 total, right?
7 total.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then they have an advantage that I will give to the next rider, which is looks like.
The cat is not winning the duster.
All right, and let's see here. Let's see, we're going to do the even and odd, same thing. Even is the bike, and even again. All right, so.
You got to shoot across his partner.
Yeah, and then he's got an advantage. 1, 2, and setback die for the dust that is covering you guys, and another setback die because Vic is covering Gwarm, and He's only got one setback that he can take away. So, ooh, okay. So he's going to shoot for 7, 8, 9 damage. However, this is personal to vehicle. So he doesn't do enough to actually do any damage to your bike. Because not enough damage, but he's definitely aiming at your bike as well. At 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. Almost. Darn.
Get close.
All right, so we're back down to PC number 1. Doesn't matter who goes next. Or you can keep it the same way. It's up to you guys.
All right, well, if I go first, gonna use my maneuver to take evasive maneuvers, seeing as how they're shooting at my bike, and because my turret doesn't do a 360, I'm going to continue to fire with my E11 blaster. So would that be the same difficulty as last time? Two purple, 1 red.
But since you're doing evasive maneuvers yourself, you're going to take an extra upgrade because of the evasive maneuvers.
Okay, so 1 purple, 2 reds.
Or I can give you a hint, and I can let you do it right now, is you take the shot before you do the maneuver.
Okay, yeah. That's sounds better. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm flipping a destiny point to upgrade. Alright. Alright. I do get 1 success in there. And shooting at the lead rider rather than his bike this time. And rifle does 10 base damage. And I have, let's see, 5 threats.
5 threats. Yeah. All right. So, do you have any ammo for your gun? Does it have ammo?
I do. Well, it's an E11 blaster, so it does have charge packs that would have to be replaced.
Okay, but what I was looking for, primarily like actual ammo, like there's certain type of weapons that you need.
Yeah, no, it's not. It doesn't have the ammo rating. No.
Okay, so this one, let me go ahead and roll this. Go ahead and roll me a percentile, actually. And then that'll kind of give me an idea of, and I'm going to be using it off of
the one time I roll a high freaking percentile.
Well, maybe. Power misfunction. Okay, so basically your ammo is out, in a sense. It is power fluctuations. Basically, a ship or vehicle is beset by random power surges. So I'm putting this towards your weapon, and it just has a power surge with this battery clip.
Okay.
So basically, it'll need a quick recharge. Probably like if you make it through in your next downtime, you'll be charging it with your battery on your vehicle itself. So it won't be of use for you in this encounter.
Okay.
And now we have PC number 2 or 3.
All right. Seeing now that both Gwarm and Oro have turned their vehicles the opposite way, Vic will kind of look over both of his shoulders.
I didn't turn the opposite way. I just turned around and shot.
Oh,
yeah,
you
he
just
turned.
around and shot.
I'm just sort of turning and shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, but Joro made a left turn.
Okay.
He's going.
I did enough turning for everybody.
Seeing that Horo has completely turned on his bike and is heading right towards him to do whatever crazy scheme he's got going, Vic will twist his bike around and shoot at the closest bike to him.
Alrighty.
So what's
So
the difficulty on
the
that?
same thing will be, it'll be a hard difficulty. So that's 3.
Okay.
Upgraded once, and then because you're fighting through the dust storm and stuff like that, you have, well, it's not really a dust storm, it's from the bikes and everything else, picking up speed, turning, maneuvering, picking up dust. It is going to be 1 setback for that, and then of course for their defense, but again, you can use your piloting for this. Because it's the way it's set up. It's not necessarily in a closed ship out in space.
Okay, so it's 3 purple or any upgraded reds?
Well, it's hard difficulty. That's 3 purple, but one of them is upgraded to. So it's 2 purple, 1 red, 2 black.
Okay.
And you can use your piloting to take away.
Yep. And I'm not gonna use a force a destiny point this time. That didn't work out quite well for me because that one worked better. All right, so yeah, I was aiming for the lead bike. The bike itself, not the pilot, just the bike.
Mm-hmm. And what's the damage you can do? It's +1, whatever your base damage.
It's 5 on that on the cannon on the bike.
Okay, so the cannon is 5, and then it's, so that would be +1, so that's 6 damage. Correct?
I thought it was
No, it's
the other way
4
around.
base damage plus 1, so it'd be 5 total.
So it's 5, but that's vehicle to vehicle, so that's actually going to do 5 damage. And let me see, did he look at his bike here real quickly and look at silhouette 2, so that's all the same. Hold trauma. All right. And with that shot is basically going to it hits into his system, and you see it kind of do this white lightning throughout real lightly. It'll just go from where you shot in the middle to kind of the edge, and then you kind of see that lightning kind of go real lightly over the body, and you can kind of, when it does, that area that you see the skeleton of this thing. And it's really quickly, and you just see it, and he sputters and turns. His bike goes to the side. He does a nasty spill, and you just see him twirling throughout the dust. I probably should have let you explain how it was, but
Oh no!
I just thought of this.
That was great.
Beautiful.
And basically, the bike just comes and just kind of like springs into the air, and pieces just start going. And now you're contending with 2.
All right, and I still got was that my maneuver in action then?
Your action was
turn
to
it.
turn. You really hadn't given me a maneuver. Was that to aim? I don't see an aim
No,
up
I
there.
just
So it
shot.
wasn't maneuvered. So you have your maneuver.
All right, or my movement. So I'm gonna start heading towards them to catch up with Horo.
Okay. So you basically do your accelerate because you slow down a little bit. He's still going, so you're going to go right in between him again, giving Gwarm cover.
Uh-huh.
All right, so now we have some guy who's going left field. How is he going to fix everything up for himself?
Yeah, Zoro's like, oh, he pulls on it, and he like banks right for his maneuver to right himself, so he's facing the. So I guess the one question I have is, are they? I'm just wondering about, since they've continued with the direction they've gone. If they're, I'm going to try and actually shoot twice because I've got the my blaster pistol is mounted to my wrist, and and then I'll use the turrets on on my on my on my bike. So hopefully I shoot the body of one and shoot the bike out with the other one. If we
Okay.
can get it that way. So all right. So gunnery is not my. No, I bet nobody put anything in gunnery, did they?
I did. My gunnery is much better, but my gun doesn't shoot backwards.
Yeah, he didn't take the base that I gave you guys.
Oh no, I think I thought as much, but okay.
Yeah, I've been using my
So
gunnery.
yeah. What's that? Are we at a super range then, Dave?
Well, let's see. So we
So
have.
what on the speeder's guns?
You're still at 2.
Okay.
At this point, you went from, uh, let's see here. So how you would have done this? You would have stayed. You would have been gone from short to short, maneuver. They would have
Uh-huh.
gone close to short, so you're still at short.
Okay.
But now you're sort of going to be side to almost right behind them. So it
Okay.
actually can work strategy wise. It actually can work for you guys. So
Right.
it will be the difficulty of the 3. Um, and you're going to have 2 setbacks because of the dust,
Okay.
and even
The
more so.
my scanner goggles that I wear actually knock out the terrain, the complications from dust and stuff, but that only knocks out one. So
Okay. And your piloting take out any?
um, let's see. I can't remember if I took the.
And normally, anybody else who's actually doing land-based maneuvers is something that I was introduced in a game was using your piloting even while you're shooting because of land-based. You're not in space where you're not fighting or having the ability to fight as well.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that was introduced to me. I kind of liked it. It's no real rule on you shooting your personal gun or shooting the gun of the vehicle, and is like I said, it's a lot different than being out in space where you just can't just shoot your own gun.
Right. Um, I don't have any bonuses per se based on piloting.
Okay, so you basically
Yeah.
just okay, so you can still have 1 setback then.
Okay. Yeah, one setback. So the 3 purple for difficulty, right?
3 purple, correct, and 1
Okay.
setback.
All right. This is the purpose system here.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right. So you have to take a strain on the system for that one, and actually, because it wasn't a piloting check, I'd still take the strain.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so that's a damage of 4. And then we go to.
And you were shooting at him or the bike?
I'm shooting at him.
At him. Okay.
So it's still difficulty of 3.
hmm
Any setbacks?
Just that one. Same
Okay.
thing as before.
Okay. I got it. Here we go. Oh, no doubt.
All right, and this one's going to be the system strain, and as well because you're doing a little bit extra.
Uh,
System strain for it, and then you have to take strain for yourself, and basically ended up being a nil roll. All right,
right.
so now we have uh, both of the little guys that are coming, and let's see. I had something I was going to roll. It's going to be their discipline check. against their leadership that basically their leader kind of got hosed. So let's see if do they run or do they fight? They fight. All right. So they did their discipline, which was 2, to a difficulty of hard 3 because their leader went down, and I did get a success. So we are going to shoot at. Let's see. Vic is in the way. So are we shooting at Vic or are we shooting? Oh, we're shooting at the machine again. Alrighty. And we are looking at, let's see here. You are at short now. So that'll be one more difficulty. So it'll be difficulty of 3 with their piloting. I mean their gunnery. And setback of 2 because of the dust and the storm and the cover. So that gets nailed out from their piloting skills. And what do we got? Nothing on Gwarm. I mean on Vic. And the second shot will be on Gwarm's machine. So let's see, the same thing. 1, 2, 3. He has 1 setback though, but he also has that 1 advantage. That's right. So, not advantage, bonus die, and he misses. So it's this shoot, and they're just kind of going wide. You could tell this. The second one is he's so determined. And he knows he's going to do it, but at the same time, he just as soon as he shoots, he passes the shot from or the body of where his leader was at, and basically kind of messes him up, so it takes him off aim. All right, so we're back at the top of the ladder with PC number 1, and then 2 and 3.
All right, Gwarm is fed up and had enough. He slams on the air brakes, brings this thing down to 0 for speed, and turns it around. So he does like this sliding, sort of a skidding stop toward 180, aiming directly back at him. And he just lays on the trigger for his bike's cannon, aiming at the closest of the 2 that are left.
All right. For this, are you going to be using some kind of piloting talent or anything?
No, I don't have any piloting talents.
Okay. So I'm going to do base of hard piloting. Since you don't have any talents, so like a full throttle, but it's bringing it down to 0. So go ahead and make real quick for the piloting. I want to make a hard difficulty for the pilot, not upgrading, not doing anything.
Okay, piloting.
Hard, which is 3 purple, for those who are watching.
Oh, and he fails with a threat.
All right, so you do your stop, but then you're about to do it, but then you realize Vic is like right behind you. He kind of caught up to you, and you realize if you do it right now, you would actually hit him and cause some kind of collision between you two. So you realize you're not going to be able to do it. That with that strain, you're going to take 1 strain because of that stress that you had this in your head. You already had it fixed, and then you're about to do it, and you realized where Vic was.
All right, so realizing that, he just continues going straight on and uses his action to use evasive maneuvers because I screwed up last time doing that. It should have been my action instead of my maneuver.
Evasive maneuvers? I thought it was a maneuver.
I did too, but I'll have to. My sheet for the bike says it's an action. I've got to get my other sheet out so I can look it up.
Because page 245, maneuver, accelerate, decelerate, fly and drive, evasive maneuvers. Stay on target is a maneuver, and then
Okay.
punch its
Then
maneuver. Well, it's an action, but it gets turned into one later. So, yeah, evasive maneuvers is an actual maneuver itself.
all right. Well then,
I had to
he'll
switch
just take
around.
he'll take two maneuvers. And initially, his first maneuver was to begin to stop. Realizing he can't, he uses his second maneuver instead of an action to throttle back up and go into evasive maneuvers.
Okay, so with doing that, you're about to do the stop, but you're still staying at your 2. Keep going. Yeah, I'll just leave it alone. That's good. All right, so we have PC number 2 and then 3.
All right, Vic, realizing, uh, knowing how a young pup rides and seeing him through growing up, realized that he was trying to pull off something, and 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 he realized that Vic himself realized that he was way too close to Gwarm and not giving him enough space. So Vic's gonna maneuver to get out of Gwarm's way, so he can do whatever maneuver. So he's gonna give himself some distance, and he's gonna take a shot at the closest. After he makes his maneuver and gets in the position, he's gonna take a shot at the next closest bike. You're muted, Gabe.
Oh,
That's difficult.
yeah, same difficulty. Let's see. So you're going to be, I mean, you guys are still at close range because they're kind of keeping up with you. They caught up to you. So they're still at close range. So it's going to be 2 difficulty, and depends on if you're shooting them or shooting the bike itself.
Bike.
Okay. So yeah, 1 purple, 1 red, and then of course your blacks, but you take them away. So I'm not even going to add those in.
Okay.
Normally going to be like I said, the 1 black, but it's because it's closer. There you go.
All right. So 4 for that one.
And for that damage there. Okay. Tell me how you take the 1 out, and by subsequently taking the other 1 out because they're minions.
All right. So Vic, realized that Gwarm was going to pull off something sweet, and the old man was in the way. So he's going to try to make it up to the kid, to the pup there, and so he maneuvers to get it out. He swings his bike around to start getting out of position, so Gwarm can take a shot, and is just trying to get some covering fire so Gwarm can set up his shot, and inadvertently hits the front fins to the bike that he was aiming at, instead of just trying to get him either his engine or something, and so the bike loses control and barrels right into his partner's bike.
I was muted, so that's 2. 1 more, and I'll turn that one of those destiny points for you guys. So at this point, it's up to you. Do you want to keep going with the momentum you guys already have, with Joro kind of fixing himself and going, or do you want to go ahead and stop to fix your system strain, fix your repair gun, and maybe do some kind of search with why these things attacked you besides whatever?
This isn't my territory.
Well, honestly, I'm still good to go, so I say we just keep going. We're at least halfway, more than halfway there.
All right, so Vic will start to get his bike in position, watching Gwarm starting to head to the target, and not even bothering with what's left of these three squirrel nutheads or whatever we call these.
Squirrel backs.
Squirrel bags. and he'll swing around and go to get into position.
All right. I kind of wish there was a passive perception in this game. It'd be really nice to have. So, Joro, I want you to go and roll me a hard difficulty perception, and I'm going to use Destiny die to upgrade one of them. So it'll be 2 purple, 1 red perception as you're making your way back with your little team here.
So you said it was two purple, 1 red?
2 purple, 1 red. Yes, sir.
All right. Double check here real quick. All right. Taking spare on top of that. You're muted, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm trying to push something, but I kept pushing my camera. That's what sucks about it. But I did promise. I did speak, so here you go. As promised.
So, yeah,
here.
I don't know as far as the spare
You
goes.
got a success, an advantage, and a despair to go with it. So, while I think of the despair, what I want, go ahead and do, since you guys got into an encounter, I want to go ahead and make your discipline check so you can replenish any strain you have. And I'll think of a good despair on a visualization. And any success you have is 1 strain back to you.
Good.
Just kind of like a repair check in a sense.
Uh-huh. So, dang.
There you go.
Old guy recovers fast.
All right, so he's been around a while. He's like, there's nothing. There's this little scuffle between rodents and you guys, desert dwellers. So as you're riding back, you realize the collision, and you bypass it no problem. You've seen these things. You've seen their colors, if you will, of their leathers, and you realize it is this other gang. And I mean, this could be some kind of a scout ahead, and basically that's what you see. So you see the collision, you bypass it, no problem, and that's your success. That you don't have to worry about hitting them throughout the dust, and so you keep going. So you go on your merry way to your next stop.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. These we don't have scanners on these, do we? Or maybe we do. They're only close range. They're only close range.
Do you have any scanner? Do you?
Yeah, there's scanners on the one I have. They're close range scanners though. I don't have any real distance to them, so.
Okay, what does it scan?
It doesn't say exactly. It just says sensor scan is close, so. I'm trying to figure out if there's of course I'm not exactly the most intelligent guy, but I'd be like, okay, what's this button do?
All right, well, go ahead and give me another perception check, kind of like because you are using the scanner. We'll say an average, so it's only 2. And I'll do it because you don't really. I'll do a setback because you're using the word. What does this button do? So you're not really competent in the system itself.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna use a destiny point and change it. Here we go. One advantage. Okay. Well, yeah.
All right. So you see it. You see the systems, um, and you're checking out, and it kind of scans their bikes and everything, but you're not really getting anything from it. You just realize, yep, there's a bike. There's another one. There's part of a bike, and then you kind of catch up to your team,
Right.
and then you can do whatever you want with that advantage. So, all right.
Uh, yeah. Okay.
So we'll let Gwarm take the next step you guys want to take. Because you do have to fix your gun, you do have to recharge, you know, normal hour and a half.
Uh,
Yeah, so when our hour and a half stop comes up, they'd stop and take their rest to stretch and all that. And Gorm swaps out battery packs on his gun and starts charging the bad one that went dead on him and puts a good one in the gun, and sort of tucks it back into like a saddlebag sort of deal so that it can charge while riding type of thing.
All right. And
Joe's running sensor scan. Since he figured out what the button does, he's going to run another sensor scan and see if we've been being tailed or followed or anything.
okay. Same difficulty, everything, because you're still getting used to the system itself. Now
Right.
you're everybody there trying to figure out.
Are you still one setback?
Yeah, because that's just because of not knowing the system.
Okay.
All right. So let's see here. The system itself. Um, The machine itself will take the system strain on this, and you're going to get 2 successes, and you're getting 2 little minor beeps on Vic's and Gwarm's bike.
Oh. Okay, so that would be, and my bike doesn't show up on the scan?
No, you're getting a system strain on yours.
Okay. All right, no worries. But yeah, Dro does another, like, before he gets on the bike, he just double checks the back trail and stuff. Like, he didn't like being surprised the last time, so. When
Okay.
it takes for Gwarm to recharge and swap out his batteries and stuff, he used the sensors on his bike again and using his scanner goggles to gauge the back trail.
All right, anything else?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. I'm making a note here. All right, and you guys take off. Basically, pretty much uneventful. One sun basically comes over, and I'll say there's a second one that kind of crisscrosses. So when they meet together, it's the hottest point of the day. So one goes like east and west, one goes north and south. It's fine normally, but when it hits here, it's like the most like Arizona temperature, but add another 5 degrees, so it's 120. It's like really hot. You don't really want to ride at this point. You want to find somewhere shady because of the extreme heat. Your system will start taking more heat on, and of course you're going to take more heat yourself because you're on this machine, and this is the hottest part of the day. Now, for you guys, this is more comfortable. However, you do know your machines, and they're not you. So you're going to want to take a little longer break. You probably find somewhere maybe a little more shady using a rock cliff of some sort. Rock, you find that no problem, and you can take your time a little bit more. Here, you figure out another 2 hours. You can probably be at the station. We could screen wipe if you guys don't want to do anything special. And all right, and I'm going to go ahead and ask the 2 of you, Vic and Gwarm, to give me a hard perception, and this is a perception of another sense, the pheromones.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So Gwarm, you're picking up um, on Joharo that he wants to say something, but he doesn't know if he should or shouldn't, and there's an uncertainty of what to bring up. He may not even know that there's something going on.
All right, so Gorm sort of, while they're taking their break, looks over at Joharo and says, "All right, boy, out with it. You've got something that you're bottling up there. Out with it."
The whatever those furry creatures were that we tangled with, they were wearing like gang colors too. They're like a
Well, yeah, they're the squirrel nuts.
I think a squirrel back, but yeah. But I I think I've seen those colors somewhere else.
Likely. Out here isn't the only place you'll find them.
Uh, um, yeah, my well, the last stop back a ways, I just ran a, a like a scan on our just the close proximity, and for some reason your bike and Vic's popped up on my scanner. Is I don't know if that would be normal.
Well, it depends on what you're scanning for. I mean, if you're scanning to find out there's things around you, I mean, it would likely ping our bikes because, well, we're around your bike. But if you were scanning for something specific, I couldn't tell you.
Would the scanner work if maybe there was a tracking device on the bike?
It's possible.
Because I mean, we're kind of way out in the middle of nowhere, and those things just showed up. Like I don't know. I didn't even know how they found us. I mean, we're pretty out in the open.
Now's as good a time as any to give our bikes a once over. And they need to cool down, and we got the time.
I hope that's it.
So yeah, Gorm would then turn and walk back over to his bike and start giving it a mechanical once over.
All right, so basically, you guys going to work on your own machines, kind of doing this. I know Vic has special tools, or not special. I think they're personal tools or something like that.
Oh yeah, I got. I don't know about Vic, but I've got a toolkit and all that stuff myself. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Mechanic by trade for the club before I became a nomad.
Yep. And let's see here. This will be an average. I want you to also combine with perception. The perception will be hard. Your mechanics will be average. So there's going to be 2 checks. So you could do you can use your mechanics for both roles, unless your perception's better for your actual looking.
Oh, I know my mechanics way better.
Okay, so you can use your mechanics for your mechanics, of course, and then you can use it for your perception when you're working on it. Because, I mean, you do know your own bike, so.
All right, well, here's the first mechanic roll.
All right.
Wow, how does that friggin' work out?
All right, and see, Zach, your mechanics for Zachary was that, and now.
You said hard for the perception.
Correct.
Still using the mechanics tools.
So,
Vic and Goro can do it both. Okay, perfect. So we see.
oh, that's beautiful. Holy crap.
So yeah, first one's the mechanics, second one's the perceptions portion.
Okay.
Goro's like following behind. He's not much of a mechanic, but he's interested to see what's going on. So
All right.
he's kind of like poking his head in as Gwarm's over there messing with his tools and stuff. He's like,
All right. So we don't really get much into Vix, and we're
Don't
looking.
find shit.
Yeah, but when you're looking at your machine, you're taking the panhandle, you're doing all this other stuff. I would love to give you more jingle on bikes. I have plenty of friends who are, and I just kind of tune them out most of the time, and now I wish I didn't. I have a lot of biker friends, so it's just one of those things like, man, I should be paying attention more often. So you kind of go into it, and inside basically, like the motor cage of whatever is a device that basically does not belong there, and it is resonating with the nice little red pulse that kind of just goes very frequently. I don't know, you can't even see my hand, and it's just kind of pulse, 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 kind of like that slow.
oh, uh, is that supposed to be there? I don't think I've got one of those on my bike.
Yep, and Gwarm's holding it. He's looking at it like.
All right, so would I have any idea what this is?
Oh yeah, you guys, without me even saying, you guys know what this says. This definitely has no property of a bike whatsoever.
Well, I know it doesn't belong on the bike, but I mean, would I have any idea? Is it just a tracker, or is it the trigger set for bomb or something like that?
Oh no, not a bomb. It's definitely a tracker.
Okay, so seeing this and having taken it off of my bike at least, yeah, looks like somebody wants to know where we're at. I don't see any markings or anything on the outside of it, so that's not one that you'd buy off a shelf.
I want Vic to give me just a regular intel check. We can use whatever knowledge you want. It's just a knowledge check, intel check.
Okay. Difficulty?
We'll go hard, just because you're going to be reaching back in the backs of your head as you know this is kind of happening.
Okay.
It was a 50-50. Okay.
He's really old there.
He didn't know shit. He's just sitting there.
Now the other two can go ahead and do it. It was just more for him because he's been part of the club for so long. But however, yours guys is going to be difficulty of I want to say daunting, just because it's you're thinking. It's definitely daunting. So it's going to be 4 difficulty versus like his with this time. Okay.
This is gonna be funny.
Good intel, though, by the way, there.
Oh my God.
I told you, Eddie.
um,
Dora was like, "What the hell is this?"
you're like so dumbfounded on that thing, and you're kind of like you're pressing like, man, it could be on my bike, it could be on his bike. We should, what are we gonna do? You know, you're having that whole that energetic um, what's the God, I can't even think of the word when you.
He's spazzing.
Yeah, he's spazzing. He's That's I was about to say it too, and I remember forgot. It starts with an H, and you're like you're
Hyperventilating.
Hyperventilating.
not hyperventilating. Anyways, yeah, you're just kind of like you're going on and on. And you're like, whoa, you know, your young 21, your young 20 hormones are just like on the fritz, and you just want to fix everything, and so you're not really thinking. And well, you remember something. It looks familiar, and you know that you can't get it anywhere, but you're just not placing where you've seen one like this. If someone just said an inkling of a word, it would spit out of your mouth so quickly. But right now it's just not really there. So we're gonna do it, Vic, since he's gonna open his up too and try to get it and fix system strain all that. And by the way, you did earlier when you were doing that, I believe, yeah. System strain um, is 2 strain back. Any damage you take is 1 plus 1, so it's 2 damage, 2 strain for Gwarm, for your fixing the bike at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Okay, my bike never took any damage.
Okay. So now we're working on Vic's. So it's up to you who wants to use. You can get a boost die from the other person from helping, whoever wants to do the main role.
Go ahead, Gwarm. You're always much better than me.
And this is for looking, because you actually, I'm not sure if Vic actually took damage or not, but you took back 2 heal and 1 system strain back for your repair.
Yeah, he's repaired up.
Okay. And
this is for the perception portion of it?
Correct.
So the 3? Alright.
Yeah. I don't know. There might be a few successes in there.
Somewhere.
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. All right, so you definitely find it. This is a little bit more hidden away, but you know what you were looking for, and you actually find it, and it's exactly the same thing. And in fact, it doesn't have a light like yours. So that's probably why it was maybe a little bit harder for Vic to find it. You didn't know what you were looking for, and this dog sure is licking the salt off my arm. Or he's tasting me to eat my arm later. I think that's what it is.
Quit salting yourself down.
It's called sweat, being in Arizona.
You actually sweat over there, huh? I think it was so hot you didn't even perspire.
Oh, well, I'm inside. I'm inside right now where it's much cooler. So
Yeah. So, Daryl's mind's going, and he starts blabbing about what was the name of the guy you came out with? The one that talked all big and everything.
Rain.
Rave. Is this something he would do? Oh, should we be worried about something else showing up? He starts the horizon again.
For what the stakes are with this particular job, I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, this job is basically an audition or an interview type of deal. So I wouldn't put it past him. But at the same time, he knew where we were going to begin with. So I doubt it would be him.
Oh,
I mean, these are
that's
just
not good.
trackers, not triggers.
Yeah.
I'd almost suspect him of putting something on the bike overall to shut the bike down, not to track it.
True.
Oh. Hmm.
And as far as having enemies, I mean, hell, the club's got a lot of them, and so do I. So
Uh,
it's picking a needle out of a haystack to figure out who did that.
yeah. Uh, I don't know enough about mechanics to, figure out my own bike and everything. Uh, it didn't interfere with the way your bike handled or anything, did it?
No, I didn't notice anything different.
No.
Huh.
No,
I'm just
just
trying
drop
to
them
figure out
here.
where to get that in there. Because like I said, I've been on my bike most of the morning already, so I got up pretty early and
I didn't touch mine until it was time to leave, so I hadn't touched it since night before. So plenty of time for somebody to have messed with it. And like I said, it's just a tracker. So, I mean, hell, drop it here, and whoever's watching it'll think we're either taking a long rest or crashed. And when they finally figure out that we didn't, and they come to find looking for us, well, then we'll know who did it.
right. You want to check my bike out anyway? I mean, just for the sake of curiosity. I mean, I don't know if the.
I think that's what that last roll was me checking out your bike.
Oh, I thought I was checking out Vic's bike.
It was correct. It was Vic's.
All right, well, then I'll do it again.
I mean, if you guys want to, you can. It just didn't come up on your system when you were checking.
Right.
I can give him a once over just to make sure.
All right. And I'm not sure if he took damage either or not. But
yeah, I didn't take damage. I got system strain though.
Oh, well, there's a perfect time he can help fix it.
Yeah.
Doesn't fix system strain, but he sure fixes his body.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And with the perception.
I'm a mechanic, not an electronic.
Yeah.
I'm an electrician. Electronic.
I'm electronic, guys.
Yeah, electrician, damn it. It's after midnight here. Give me a break.
Woohoo! All right. After midnight. All right. Okay, so you actually don't find anything on him. Like he did say earlier that he's been up early and he was been on his bike out. So, and again, also Joro doesn't really ride with you very much. You know him. He is the young kid around town. He doesn't really hang out. And thing you are getting is Vic and you kind of hang out together. But Vic also does his own thing 99% of the time. He just happened to be in town and saw you and had to come see you, and of course you do the same thing. So, and there's nothing on Joro's bike, so it's hard to come up with what the plausible solution is.
Yeah, I'd say screw them. They're just trackers. Whoever planted it, they'll eventually come looking for us, and we'll find out who did it then. That or they'll plant new ones and we'll do it again.
So the time are we past the zenith hour? Gabe, you're muted.
Yeah, I am. So that's number one for the second one. So yeah, lovely. You figured that if you pushed yourself to the limit, you can wait it cool down. You can wait an extra half hour. You can push yourself to be 2 hours, and you'll be there. Or you can rest again in between. Depends on how you want to do it. Or you can just rest before going to which building or what air part of the section of town you want to go to. But um, so basically, if we take off, it can easily be a screen wipe to the next scene.
Yeah.
What do you say, Vic? You think your old back can handle a 2-hour push?
Oh yeah, I got enough rest last night,
Right. Who you been hanging
and,
out with?
and oh, it it was who I used to hang out with, and the stories I've heard about
The curse
there's
of
this
Kern is
Mandalorian
showing again.
guy that that uh, that I knew. He told me these stories. I can't remember his name right off bat, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, we should probably get going.
Uh, Sounds like senile thoughts to me. But he's only 45. I mean, wait, I kind of have those moments. All right, so you guys get on your bikes and you see 3 trails of dust and the screen wipes to basically you guys slowing down to the edge of town, and you sim this drop off and you can see the town nicely from where you are, and it's just going to take a quick dip. It's nothing steep or anything. You didn't go towards the faults of the hillside or anything like that. So this is basically a 45-degree angle down, and you can slide down instead of and then you can be basically in town. You know what you're looking for. You take out your binoculars. You take your look. Um, you see normal, I want to say smaller city life. A lot of construction crews of certain areas, and of course, probably the main building that you're aware of. So it's up to you guys what you want to do from here. I mean, you can go straight to it. You can go to a cantina. You can go bar. You can go to the landing, fuel up. However order you want to do this. So this is all you guys. What you want to do.
So what's the time? Are we've got still daylight to operate in then?
Oh, yeah, it's be still early afternoon if we just passed noon whenever we made the 2 hours to come here.
Yeah, and well, let's say it was about an 8-hour trip overall. Let's say you probably left maybe 9, 10.
Uh,
Um,
put it,
so you're
yeah,
like it's like
4 or 5 in the evening.
yeah, that's 4 or 5, and so one sun would be down, the second sun would still be up, but it's much cooler. It's probably called the cooler sun or whatever in the evening. So it's kind of getting there, but it's you still got
Okay.
some daylight.
I I'd say I'd say we refuel first and then go to check this place out. The last time Joe had been here was when he grabbed the shuttle that dropped him off in Kingston. So that's the last time he's been here. It's been several months. So
Yeah, nice top off sounds good. And I don't mean dancers.
Yeah, yeah. There's a place just down the road. As long as it didn't get destroyed, we should be good to go. And
Now, now there is one thing on your guys' head. You guys are in this other territory. It's not 100% in this town, but if anything, there you are going to frequent. You're going to probably see a lot of them. So that is in the back of your head as well.
Yeah,
right.
just keep your mouth shut and keep your cool. I'm a nomad. I can go where I want.
um, you keep an eye out for those wrench monkeys, though.
British monkeys.
Yeah, you didn't hear about the wrench monkeys? There's like the local mechanics group here, but they run like a big gang. They they work really well on machines and stuff, but you know they run kind of like
I'm
an
familiar with a
extortion
lot of
ring and stuff, protection and other stuff.
Hmm. Interesting. I know a lot of gangs. I've never heard of the wrench monkeys. Not saying that I don't. There isn't more gangs out there. I mean, I've just heard of them or run into them, or hell, maybe I have and I didn't even know it.
New one on me. But admittedly, I don't get to Kingston all that often.
Yeah, you're looking for something that's kind of they tend to wear like red jumpers and stuff. So they're like coveralls, red coveralls.
So in other words, they stole my style.
Oh, I didn't realize you were red. Your photo doesn't show red.
I didn't say my color, I just said my
Those
style.
guys. Those guys.
Yeah.
I thought they were just a bunch of mechanics and wrench monkeys. Well, I guess, yeah, wrench monkeys. Damn, I'm getting too old.
You need to find a place to settle down.
A guy like me doesn't settle down.
So, yeah, I don't know the place you're talking about, Vic, but there's a possibility that might be one of their, I don't know what you call it. It's one of their mechanic shops. So I just just giving you a heads up. We might need to be a little careful going over there. So.
Screw it. We're getting gas. They'll take our credits or they won't.
That's what I figure. They've never given me any trouble when I've run into them before.
So you basically you'll drive up to basically one of the landing platforms, fuel stations for land vehicles, and you kind of pull up, and there's a couple droids out there. One big one that looks like our now age. I forgot what kind of droid it is, but it looks like an actual fuel pump station. Big box thing with little legs and arms, and it just kind of pulls out some kind of nozzle from itself, and it's connected to another thing, and it's kind of filling up your speeder. So the walking fuel tank, fuel pump, and basically you guys get kind of topped off. You're gonna do everything. Binary, you're not really much hearing chatter between, except for hurry to get them done. This is finished. Their systems check out. Kind of hucking between themselves to, in case anything was wrong, they could probably let you know. I mean, they seem to be in a sense of professionalism amongst themselves of making sure your machinery is done and well, not just worrying about you because you're not a machine of any sort. So, and then that's the base of the chatter between the binary that you're hearing. The others who don't know binary, there's just the regular squeak squabbles, and even the initial like and then talking to each other, and then just keep going. They'll kind of hook up to your machine. And just kind of like it'll do a quick twist, but this is normal, and then they're done. So everything you see is basically right in front of you. And you're not hearing there's really no commotion. There's a big transport, probably like a big shuttle, probably a good 15, 20 passenger van kind of comes in, gets the same thing. There's nobody inside. The symbol is basically of a transport company inside of Kingston, and And so it's up to you guys what you want to do from here. If you want to give them the rest of the mission and what you need to do, or if you want to keep that to yourself still some more. It's up to you. But
yeah, the only thing that I mean, they discussed it all at the beginning of the trip. The only thing that Gwarm wouldn't have told them in full detail is what the reward or whatever is for this being sort of an audition type of mission. All he's mentioned was that it was basically an audition or an interview type of deal for him. But all the other details they've got.
okay, so you make it. So time kind of passes slowly because you're trying to figuring out what you're gonna do. Now you make up to this warehouse district, and of the area that you originally had thought of on the plan, on the blueprints and the plans that came up on the green lighting. And you know this facility does house, like that was said, does house a gang of some sort. Now you probably have a more of an identification of who they are. The squirrelbacks, you've already had a confrontation with them, and you know your mission and what you had to do. So it's up to you how you want to go about this. So this is where I would need more information from you as basically your planning stage of what you guys want to do.
Oh.
All right, so with this area, we're trying to take some of it for this group. We don't necessarily need all of it, but at the same time, it couldn't hurt. More space, more room for them, the better we look, type of thing. So,
So
how you guys want to do this?
Is this the only area that's available? And why was this particular section?
There was a couple areas that were options.
Oh no, I'm talking about inside the city here. Is this the? I mean, because
this is
not over the. Look, there's reconstruction going on all over the place here. I mean, we could.
Here inside the city, this is their best option.
Okay.
This will be a large enough facility that it'll house everybody.
Okay.
They need somewhere to house people and to house ships.
Yeah.
If everything works out and the place looks like it'll actually hold up, plant the beacon, back off and wait.
So we need to do we don't need to get up in the face these squirrels again, do we? I mean, we just kind of.
We don't necessarily have to, no.
Okay.
But I mean, at the same time, I know if somebody was looking to move people into my next door or into my backyard, I'd want a heads up.
Yeah.
And as much as these guys are rival gangs, they are our neighbor, so to speak. And
Well, that was the only reason why I brought up maybe a possible other location.
this out of the other possible locations is by far the best choice in my personal opinion.
Let's do it.
Well, let's do it. That's we know we're doing it, but how are we doing it? You want to go talk to them? You want to let them know what's going on, or you just want to find a good spot to plant this thing and step back and watch it and wait and see what happens?
Well, they may already know that we're on to them. If this is the location, and they were tracking us.
Yeah, I have no doubt that they know we're here. And our bikes aren't the quietest. They've got a couple of guys who haven't come back from a recon or from whatever they were out there doing. And, well, like when guys come to our city, we always find out about it in the first 5-10 minutes of them being there. So they more than likely know we're here.
Right, right. But do they know why we're here? That's the question.
Well, unless somebody's standing around and listening to our conversation now, I doubt it.
All right, so I think it would be just as simple as just walking up, placing this beacon, and as long as nobody's looking, place it and get the hell out of there. Act like we were just on a cruise. No sense in causing a ruckus when none's needed.
Yeah. There's a point to that.
I mean, it's not like we had to beat somebody up or, collect on a debt. We're just supposed to place this thing and get back, right? Is that all we're supposed to do?
Plant it and sit back and wait.
So we would sit back here, or can we just go back home after we place this thing?
The way it was told to me, we're supposed to hang out here for a little bit and wait to see what happens.
All right.
And Doyle starts looking for a place where he could like hide or something, stash his bike and wait things out.
Oh, there's plenty of places where you can kind of hide. A lot of crates, a lot of other buildings, alleyways type vehicles. I mean, buildings itself. So it's not like it's wide open. You're like, there's only a building and just you. No, there's a lot of things you can do. It's just where to hide, where to sit back, or you can just even completely back out completely and just really see what is going to happen. It's up to you guys.
Yeah. I say we find a good spot, we drop the beacon, and we head back out here to the edge and perimeter and sit back and wait and watch.
All right. So we need to find a spot, our hideout, and we need to get the best person to get this thing set without being seen.
Yeah,
no, I'm all right. I'm about. I can be kind of sneaky and stuff when I need to be, but I'm nothing spectacular.
I'll bet you're far better than I am. I'm a mechanic. That's it.
True. Poro, are you pretty sneaky?
Sneaky? I've never really practiced in it. Like I said, I like to stay mobile. I could give it a shot. I probably got the fastest move of anybody. But...
Well,
I'll do it. What the hell? I've done this kind of stuff before. I think experience this time may need to wear out. So here, Vic will kind of wait for Gwarm to give him the beacon.
Yeah, Gwarm takes out this big, about a 12-inch disc type of thing and sort of slaps it flat across your chest like, here you go. So you get in, drop it, get out. When I see you coming, I'll hit the activation.
All right. And Vic will go make his way stealthily, sneakily to the warehouse.
All right. Go ahead and roll me your stealth without difficulty, and I'll be rolling my perception without difficulty. And you win.
Rawr.
And so you get in there, you do it, and now is the hard part. Do you know how this operates?
Could it be a mechanics check? See if I can
Okay.
figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, I've got the button to activate it. All he's got to do is drop it, and when I see him coming back, I can activate it.
Okay, but there's something with what you want to say, but I don't want to say it just yet. So
Okay.
he's going to do a mechanics check
It's
to figure
about
out.
the way it's placed. You got like a top and a bottom to it.
Well, he's going to do a mechanics check. I want to say, since it was kind of said, I'll go ahead and do. We'll go average with a one setback just for old memory. So it'll be 2 purple, 1 black.
And because my mechanics remove setbacks, I don't get the black. And I still fail!
Okay, so you slap it on and you head back to where the rest of your team is.
Yeah, as I see him coming, I hit the trigger on it to activate it.
And nothing is happening on your end of the trigger. No lights, no LED lights or anything, but you see the LED lights, but nothing is triggering, nothing, no sound, nothing.
All right, so I'm standing there sort of repeatedly hitting the button, and as Vic comes riding up, I'll just look at him and you broke it. Still continuing to hit the button, and it's like, look, no light, you broke it.
I just did what you said. I set it down, and I got the hell out of it.
You did it wrong.
Well, then you go do it.
Well, obviously I'm going to have to.
I'll keep an eye out and see if anybody's coming.
Yeah, you'll keep an eye out, just like you friggin' go plant this. And gets on his bike and he takes off.
So you
And like he gets like 10 feet, like 10, 15 feet away, and he stops and he hollers back. He's, wait, where'd you put it?
Oh.
He describes it as a manhole
We'll
cover.
describe where he hit it as best as he could.
All right.
All right. So Gwarm takes off trying to go find this thing so he can go do it right.
All right. So when you get close enough, I know you're not going to ride up on top with your bike. That would kind of be foolhardily foolish. And so you back off. You kind of make your way. Go ahead and do your stealth with no difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm using a light side. Ha-ha!
Aha, nice. So you get in there.
Huzzah!
You push it. You push the middle round button, and you turn it to a certain number, whatever number you want. And then you can back out. You can activate it, or you can just go ahead and do the final push right where you are and take off. Since you kind of know how the machine works a little bit, it was explained.
Yeah, he doesn't mess with the trigger thing anymore. He just shoves it in his pocket whenever he got on the bike to come in. So being there, he'd just trigger it manually and then hop on his bike and speed off out of there.
All right. After a while, I'd say, let's see. We'll see. We'll figure it out. All right. So after about an hour's time, you'll see this ship coming from above. It's got what looks like the back is kind of loosely rotating, but it kind of after it starts landing, it's going to start straightening out to be parallel with the ship. I want to give what the ship looks like, but I always have a hard time.
Are you talking about the skipjack?
Yes.
Uh,
Um, let's see if I can do it because last time I didn't do it very fast. It's screen share, full screen, start screen share. I'm slow at this, and then we're going to this. You kind of see this. It looks like the nose of a helicopter, looking straight forward. You can see it. It kind of does a helicopter without the rotaries up top. And the rear does rotate like a B-wing, except it's only the back part of it rotates. So you kind of see that coming down. What you see coming out of there are two individuals. How do I stop screen share now? Like that. Okay, so what you see now is the two individuals that are clad in like red armor. Come out. Their rifles are coming out. They're kind of looking. You see this huge, gigantic black cat literally jump out and kind of go onto all fours. I mean, he's huge. You see another, the female that you saw earlier that has the red hair, and you also see the bird thing looking lizard thing coming walking out. And they go to the door. They rush in. There are shots fired that you hear inside. And what are you guys going to do from here?
Yeah, I wasn't given any orders to engage or anything. Sit, plan it, sit back and watch.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here and watching.
All right. So after a time, basically, you see the commotion, kind of like you can hear it. So everything else, there's gunfire. It kind of lasts for a little bit, and all of a sudden there's almost like nothing. And basically it's just kind of silent. How long do you guys want to wait? Do you guys want to take off from here? What?
Yeah, I wasn't given any orders or anything other than to come do this. So as far as I'm concerned, we're done. They didn't say how long we had to wait. We just told to wait.
we hold here, or are we going to go back?
Are we supposed to report back in, or?
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea. But I don't want to do it over airwaves. So, I mean, as long as you two are up for it, a nice long night trip back home. At least it won't be
ride. Although, if we're gonna go on a night ride, we need to pick up a couple bottles of something.
Agreed.
Hey, so Horo, have you ever been on a night ride before?
A night ride? Not so much a night ride. I've flown at night.
Oh, flying at night's easy. Night riding? Now that's an adventure.
And somewhat of a tradition between the two of us, at least.
All right. So
There's a few others.
Okay, so we'll say you guys have. You have lights on yours or illuminary, Jaharo. And you call it even or odd that you do.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. I got my scanner goggles. I can see at night with my scanner goggles, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
You have to remember, lights are to be seen, not to see.
Okay.
So it's up
I
to
know
you.
it's odd.
Okay. All right. So you don't. You don't actually have them. It's up to the other two if they do. And you guys make your way back, and I want to. Let's see here. I want to do a resilience check. And this is going to be, I want to say, daunting because you've been basically going to be 16 hours writing. There is going to be stops. You can sleep the whole night if you want one of them. That's up to you. But this is for to make the whole 16-hour trip.
Well, I'd say probably about half to three-quarters of the way through, we'd probably be lit enough that we'd need to stop and sleep for a couple hours.
Hey. What'd you put in this stuff?
Okay, so you're going to some. How long are you going to sleep?
Probably just 2-3 hours.
All right, you're going to set up a some kind of watch, or you guys just all going to sleep? I mean, it is only a couple hours like sleep you're going to do, and then keep writing. So it's up to you.
Probably be lit enough to not necessarily think about it, so I mean, probably I'll just fall asleep.
All right. So you kind of like just lean up on your bikes. I mean, like you normally would have. You put your feet up. You're on your bikes. You're leaning. You're asleep. You guys have the balance for this. It's no issue if you're going to fall or not. And let's see here. So you guys are going to sleep 2 hours, 3 hours. All right. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and do a resilience check. This time, it's only going to be hard. Okay, so
I nil out.
Advantage.
Too much alcohol. We're not very resilient.
Well, it is what a 12. It's even though it's still a 12-hour ride, even if you went halfway. And so we have 3 nils, and that. All right, so 4 hours sleep. Do it again, please, at 3. See if because basically you overslept the 3 hours. All right, so Vic will wake up on the 4th.
Yeah, Gwarm had too much to drink.
All right, so Vic wakes up and is finally coming through, and you look to your left as you're doing it, and you see knocked out, like just asleep, is Gwarm, and his head's just kind of bouncing, going like this. And then you kind of look to your right, and you see Goro kind of doing the same thing. No, Goro woke up as well. Never mind. And he feels kind of refreshed with his advantage, so he's going to be a little bit more like ready to go. Your eyes are more perked, and you're kind of coming through your for Vic. His eyes are coming to, is losing the haziness of just waking up, and you see basically 4 different individuals around you, and you realize you're not on the ground anymore. Your bikes are kind of there inside this thing, and you're feeling like you're floating. And you are being surrounded by one gentleman that's basically clad in red armor. He's got a helmet on, and he talks in a very vibration sound. And I really wish I had his voice modulator, unless that's just his normal voice. I think it is his normal voice. And he's like, they finally woke up. And
if you're talking about Alan, it's a voice modulator.
It is a voice modulator?
It is.
It is? I thought so. I thought it was. I thought it was, but I was like, maybe I'll tell him, because he talks like that too. And then you hear a snarl of some sort, and basically just comes up right on you, just sniffy. Imperial? Kind of like just sniffs and just realizes, he's like, And then he's like, you hear a voice, and it's this guy. He has got white long hair, and he has a collar of a jacket, some kind of white cushion on it. And he's like, so you were part of the team that was supposed to meet. Where were you?
Um, well, as far as I knew, everything was done, so we just were heading back home.
Oh, home you think is where you're going.
Uh, okay. And Vic will kind of lean over, kind of take his leg and try to kick Gwarm awake. Like, come on, kid, get up. This is your show.
What?
And
Oh.
he'll point up. You're on, kid.
Okay. I'd rather stayed with my dream.
And you kind of hear like some chitter chatter. Okay, the other beacon is finally popped on. Maybe we should head up that way. Be ready for anything. Sarin, Ven, be ready. Then he kind of looks at, looks and he's like, which one of you was supposed to be my contact?
Vic just points at Gwarm.
So I wasn't told anything about being a contact. I was told to drop this thing, wait for a little bit, and that was it. Nobody said I was meeting with anybody.
And did you see us entering the building?
Yeah, I saw a ship land and big furry guy there. Which, damn, you're big. Saw him get out, and you guys went in. While went by, nobody came out. We left.
And he looks at Fan, and he's like, did you tell him the whole operation, or did you just tell him the part that you remembered? And he's like, I remembered everything. You told me to have them put the beacon where building they wanted and wait. And you're realizing that this was more to than what was being said. He's like, all right, this isn't how teamwork works. Yes, you did part of your mission, but when you saw us, it should have been notified or realized you were supposed to come help. Now, I'm not sure what you did or didn't hear, but you were supposed to help. And this time, we're going to be going to a different one of the other facilities that was told. It's up to you if you want to join in. You don't have to on this one since you didn't help with the first one. But there's a situation going on that Fen kind of warned me on, and we're going to see if it's true. But until then, you three are going to stay bound. Not as prisoners, but to make sure that and then you're realizing, wait, we are bound because your the hands are on to the side and you're pretty tight, and you weren't realizing, and we're going to get down to the bottom of a situation that we found out on. Is there anything you wish to tell us before we make it known?
What's your name?
And he looks at you and he looks at Fen like, you didn't tell him who I was going to be? And he just like looks, he doesn't even say anything. He's like, Zan, Tiber Zan.
Okay. I know that name. Alright. If going and helping you is an order, then I guess that's what we're doing.
Hey, Gwarm, what kind of situation are they talking about?
Well, I should say if going and helping you is an order, then that's what I'm doing.
Oh.
Well, we weren't sure where you were, but what was going on. But I'm glad you boys didn't make it in there. unless you were part of them. And this is where we're going to get down to. And basically, you kind of see them, you kind of like give them the location, you kind of see the little monitor beeping, and then you basically do the quick land. Doors open up, and you see basically the one clad red that you're wearing that you see him and one other that didn't speak anything kind of jump out, do the exact same thing. The cat jumps out of the whole thing. I mean, just with the quickness, he just leaps out. Um, and Zan kind of gets out, moseying along behind everybody, just walking, and kind of go up to the door. And you're expecting this big fight, and you open up the door, and crickets. And you guys walk in, and there is nothing to be found inside this little portion of the building. It is by water, the area that you knew about, and there is basically nothing. However, there is a light in the back room somewhere.
But so were they supposed to drop a beacon here?
They did drop one, you can tell.
Oh, okay.
The other person did their drop of the beacon, but there is nobody here. And this is where Gwarm is supposed to know, and Vic, that there's normally a lot of bikes. There's another gang that's supposed to be here, and there's basically nobody here.
That was easy.
But there is a light in the back room area. And you see motions from Fenn kind of giving orders and doing this and that, hand maneuvering. You see the big white clads or red clad armored people kind of like talking and they're kind of moving in towards the location of this light, and very quickly and swiftly they move in. You kind of you do the 1, 2, and 3. And basically you can see the bird kind of just jump in, the cat jumps in, and Tiber walks in, and of course you kind of follow through. Below them you'll see them pinned down is Rame, and there's money around, and you see something, and I want perception checks on this for. It's going to be hard, which is what, 3?
3. Yeah.
3. I want average. Somebody's going to get it. All right, so we got...
Hey, Furball, you're in my way. I can't see nothing.
So we got one person who can see it, and it is Vic, and he sees the symbol on the wall that kind of goes with the squirrel backs, and nothing in there. Okay, so you guys see the symbol basically of the squirrel backs and everything else, and only one person in there is one of the Solonians and Mame, and they don't look like they were in any type of confrontation. Quickly they get bound up, and basically, so you hear the voice again, and this is for Gwarm. He hears the voice again. So what are we going to do about this? And he pulls out a gun, and he kind of points at Mame, and then he points at Gwarm, saying, "Maybe it's you." Someone here has something to say.
Something to say about what?
Well, let's put it this way. One location had well over 30 individuals. This location has none. We were told that there was confrontation in every location. And I'm going to bet that this one, and he kind of points in front of Mame, Rame, not Mame, Rame, that
He's going to be named afterwards.
Oh, I'll
is a
bet he made a
culprit.
deal with them. Oh yeah, I'll bet he made a deal and paid them or something to clear out long enough for you guys to get settled in. Wouldn't put it past him.
And you'll see Fenn kind of looking at you. I mean, he just comes up close to where you are. His eye is coming down, going up. Goes to Rame, does almost the same thing, and you're not quite sure what he's doing, but he's definitely giving you that weird vibe of that eye, the way the birds look on one eye, and kind of like really pay attention to what's going on. And he does some kind of squawk and kind of leans into Tiber, and he goes, "One of you, well, is pleading for his life in a sense. The other is not. And what is it you do regarding disloyalty?" And any
What do you
one
mean?
of you three can pipe up on this. I mean,
What do you mean? What does the club do for disloyalty?
what do
Or
you
what
guys
would I do for disloyalty?
Yeah, correct.
Correct which one? The first or the last or both?
Well, to me, aren't they the same?
No, not really. I mean, there's disloyalty to the club, but then there's disloyalty to the person.
Well, there's disloyalty all around, for one.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
But
I don't know.
just,
I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But what do you do in this instance when you find out someone has went against their word, basically, and now is showing the disloyalty?
Oh, well, for that,
We draw in courtroom?
there's a bit of fun involved with that.
Explain. What do you mean, fun? That what you said, right?
And yeah, is Gwarm still bound by the hands and all that?
All of you guys are all still bound. The only ones who are not bound at the really, they're just being held is Rame and the other Solonian. That's basically.
Well, still being bound, Gwarm would sort of look at whoever is holding his sword, because I'm sure they wouldn't have left him armed as well. He'd look at his sword and he says, "Well, for that we'd get to have a little bit of fun," while he's looking at his blade. People who betray the club, they don't walk away whole if they walk away at all.
So you guys do some sort of duel? You guys do some sort of. What is it you do? I mean, I'm at your mercy right now because I don't want to step over and make sure that what I have done is part of the formalities of what you call almost said center way.
You were told that there was going to be confrontation at all three locations. Your first location, confrontation. And that's the one I was at. Now, granted, I was evidently supposed to stick around and meet with you when you got there, and he'd sort of look at the bird guy when he says that. He says, but unfortunately, there must have been a miscommunication, whether it was between Feathers and the old man, or the old man and myself. There was a miscommunication, and I didn't stick around. Says, but there was confrontation like there was supposed to be. Here, there's no confrontation. You find one of our guys with an outsider and a whole pile of money, and once again, no confrontation. Which, if there's any disloyalty or any betrayal, these would definitely be indicators of which. And in our club and society, if there's proof of disloyalty, then there is no trial, it's straight to punishment. If there's no proof, then it gets taken back to the old man, and it gets voted upon by the table, by the heads. If you're found innocent, you go about your way. If you're found guilty, well, then it depends just exactly how bad of an offense you had as to how bad your punishment is. Some things warrant death, others warrant a little bit of torture, and minus a few digits.
Okay.
Man, you take it easy. I'd just take him and lasso him to my speeder and drag the hell out of him.
I like this kid.
And
Well,
and you see a big, kind of see a smirk on the probably like the left side or right side of this, like, wow, that's an ingenious idea. What should be done? And it's just kind of like,
well, that's more along the lines of personal. I was speaking of club matters. Club matters, there's loopholes and tape you got to go through. Rules. On a personal matter, oh, like I said, and he looks back at his blade again, he says, I'd have fun.
and so, he kind of like he tells Fenn to go ahead and let him go. And in quickness, he just pulls out his blade from the back. He just kind of pulls out, and you just kind of see this partial of what looked like his back armor just turn into this kind of a blade. The partial that comes up from his arm, and then is from the front, and then his quickness, you just slices straight up, and just right between the little partials of like where your skin was gets nicked. All the ropes kind of like just kind of come tumbling down. And you are free.
Thank you.
The Charles like jumping at Mame. Rames, like he's not the brightest guy, but
and before you is basically how you want it. I mean, you had you either have a blade or you have a gun, and you kind of Fenn's like holding one in each hand, like the blade he used to cut you. I mean, because that's the only blade he has, and the sidearm.
Okay, well, Gwarm
Charles
would
got his wrist mounted one. He's gonna pop him in the chops.
Gwarm would sort of hold his hand out to whichever one of the guys is holding on to Gwarm's Cortosis blade that he carried along with his E11 rifle. And he just sort of holds his hand out to him like, may I?
Oh, okay. So I didn't know you had one of those. Okay. So, I'd figure one of the red clads would actually have your weaponry in hand, and he grabs the blade and gives it to you.
Thank you. And he does this quick little sort of flourish with it to show that he is handy and proficient with a blade. And he walks over to the two of them, and sort of, as he's walking over, he sort of looks like he's doing the eeny meeny sort of thing. pointing the tip at each one of them. And then when he gets up to him, he points at the Solarian, and he's, "You're next. You're first." And it's sort of the death by 1,000 cuts sort of thing. He just starts making a bunch of little slices, and each one gets a little deeper and deeper and deeper, and all of them in nice painful places, like right between the fingers at the webbing, and nice tender areas, just to hear him scream for a while. And
Joe shot him under 10.
And from the other two, you hear from Fen, just kind of look like Tiber, and goes, "Can I kill them now?" Oh, Chris is not even here. That's not half as funny anymore.
There's only 2/3 as fun.
But hearing the threat of "Can I kill them now?" Gwarm kind of looks back at him with that sort of inquisitive look, like, "Kill them? Which them?" And decides that he's...
Yeah, you see Tiber kind of like put his hand down, like we're at the show, kind of like let them do what they do.
After having put Reem through probably a good 10-15 minutes worth of just agony, making all these different little slits and these different tender, painful areas, he just gets sick of it, and he steps up behind, like twirls around and gets up behind him, grabs him by the forehead and draws the blade all the way across his throat, and just lets everything spill out. And then looks at Yoro or Horo, and says, "Tie a rope to his tail."
Zoro's got his rope, and he ties it not only to his tail but to his hindquarters. Where's the nearest bite?
Drag him around for a while. Have fun.
All right. With that, you basically kind of get the information. You're kind of looking, and he asks basically the two of you, because, well, Nathan's kind of having fun riding around, smearing blood all over the sands of the area, and asking him, "Are the squirrelbacks going to be a major problem? If so, we'll have to make ourselves known to them."
Well, the squirrelbacks aren't the largest crew around here, but they are a pain in the ass. They like to ambush folks. They don't like the head-on fight.
All right. Well, the location prior was much prime in the city. Much more protection we can give them. We'll find out. We like this one. Moving from location to location isn't too difficult. We will definitely be looking at taking both, and we will have teams on this location, the other location, and other places. But that's just logistics that, well, I'm sure you may or may not. Now, as you wanted to know, we will actually be heading back into your town to let them know everything was fine, and let your boss say, let them know of disloyalty within inside itself. And that's up to you if you want, how you want to present it. Other than that, we have a nice little trip ahead of us, and we should be back there within, I don't know how far we are, but I would say within 2 to 3 hours. And I have a proposition if you want to take it. That is, if your what do they call him? He said old man, but his name is Ya. It's up to him if he actually wants to extend his hand into, well, letting you, what's the word? uh, be useful to our organization?
Well, you're this Zahn fellow, right?
This I am.
Which, I mean, no disrespect. First time actually getting to meet you on level ground and all. Seems
No
not.
worries. I haven't met your uh, old man or Yah in person. It's always been by HoloNet.
Well, I can tell you now that he'll already agree to allowing myself, at least, to be put to use by you and your corporation or your crew. But as for these two, I just drug them along for the ride and for the backup if needed. But I don't presume to tell any boss of any crew how to do their job. So feel free to make this have this conversation with the old man if you wish.
Yep. And you guys kind of go in and you guys take off. And the last final words is basically you hear, and God, I wish I remembered his name. Um, Alan's character's name.
Kada?
What is it?
Is it Kada?
Yeah, I think so. And you hear that, and you basically hear, Kada, I thought you said they'd be Imperials. And then you just kind of just see the whole flash just take off. And basically that's wipe for the show or the game.
All right. That was
Nice.
awesome game.
I got
Loved
myself a small cat.
I had to
All
sneak them
right.
in.
Well, that was the introduction to Gwarm. Here within the next couple weeks, we will be starting the regular episodes of the Corsela Saga. To be right, it's been a long couple weeks work-wise, so a lot of talking. But it's been a great time, been fun, long session. Again, Gabe, great game. I had fun. Hope the rest of you guys did too. And I will announce the next game here within the next couple weeks of the first episode, so stay tuned to the Tides of Change. And if you're watching it and not a part of the Tides of Change Facebook group, join up. It doesn't cost anything. Only thing you have to do is be a fan of Star Wars and role-playing. But until then, folks, we will see you next time. Have a great night.
Peace.
Right.